3rd Nephi chapter 3, Lachoneus and the Robber King's Bold Challenge. Verse 1. Once upon a time in the 16th year since the glorious Christ had visited the people, there lived a brave and wise governor named Lachoneus. He was strong and noble, and everyone knew him as a great protector. One day, as Lachoneus was watching over his people, something strange happened. Whoosh! A letter flew in, carried by a fast messenger. But this wasn't just any letter. No. It was from the sneaky, fearsome robber king, Giddianhi. What could it say? Lachoneus opened the letter, his hands steady and brave, and inside he read these words. Lachoneus, most noble and mighty governor, the letter began. I see you standing tall, defending your land, your homes, and your freedom, like you've got the hand of a magical god on your side. Giddianhi's words dripped with flattery, but underneath, he was trying to make Lachoneus doubt. But are you really that strong? He questioned. Oh, but Lachoneus wasn't fooled. He did have divine help. He knew that God was with him, even if Giddianhi didn't believe. But then, boom, the letter turned dark and stormy. Giddianhi roared through his words. It's such a shame, Lachoneus, that you're so foolish to think that you could stand against my mighty army. They're brave, they're strong, and they're waiting for my signal any moment now, and they will march down upon you and destroy everything. Oh no, Giddianhi's words shook the air like a thunderclap. But little did he know Lachoneus's courage was stronger than any storm. My army has never lost in battle, Giddianhi bragged. They have unconquerable spirit. They fought hard and won every time, and they hate you, Lachoneus, because of what they think you've done to them. If they come down from the mountains, they won't stop until everything you love is gone. Poof, like it never existed. But Lachoneus knew the truth. He had never wronged Giddianhi's people. The robbers were the ones who turned away from goodness and fairness. Lachoneus trusted in what was right, and no robber could take that from him. Then the letter took a sneaky turn. I'm writing this with mine own hand, Giddianhi said, because I care about your well-being. You've been noble, Lachoneus, but why should you fight when you don't have to? Why risk everything you've worked for? But Giddianhi was trying to trick him. He wanted Lachoneus to give up, but Lachoneus's heart was full of light, and no darkness could make him give in. Then Giddianhi made his offer. Here, what you should do, Lachoneus. Give up your city. Then Giddianhi made his offer. Here's what you should do, Lachoneus. Give up your cities, your lands, and your treasures. If you do, I promise no one will get hurt. We'll take care of everything peacefully, and you won't have to lift a finger. But Lachoneus knew that this was no real peace. Surrendering meant giving up all that was good and true, and Lachoneus would never do that. We don't want you to be our slaves, Giddianhi added. No, we want you to be our brothers. Join us, share our secret treasures, and you'll be like us. It'll be great. But Lachoneus wasn't fooled. How could joining a band of robbers be great? He knew the truth. True greatness comes from standing by what's right. not joining those who had turned their backs on goodness. And then, boom! Giddianhi's final threat came crashing through the letter like a storm. But if you do not surrender, O Lachoneus, on the morrow month, my army will come down like a mighty flood. They won't stop. They won't rest until you and all your people are wiped out. Not one of you will remain. Lachoneus read the words, but his heart stayed strong, for he knew that when you stand with the Lord, no enemy can truly conquer you. I am Giddianhi, ruler of the secret society of Giddianton. The letter said proudly, our ways are old and powerful, handed down from generation to generation. We have always done the things this way, and we know it is good. But Lachoneus knew just because something was old didn't make it right. Goodness isn't measured by age, but by truth. Lachoneus understood this, and that made him stronger than an ancient secret society. Giddianhi ended his letter with one last attempt. Give us your lands and treasures, Lachoneus, and my people will get what they deserve. Don't make us fight for it, or else there will be no mercy when we come. Lachoneus could see Giddianhi's desperation. He knew the robber king wanted to scare him, but fear had no power over faith. When Lachoneus finished reading the letter, he didn't feel fear. Not at all. Instead, he was amazed at how bold Giddianhi had been. Imagine threatening the Lord's people like that. Lachoneus, however, was a just and wise man. He knew the robber king's word couldn't harm him, if he trusted in the Lord. So instead of being scared, he took action. With a calm and mighty voice, Lachoneus gathered the people and said, we will not fear. Instead, we will cry unto the Lord with all our hearts. He will give us strength we need to face this threat. And just like that, the people began to pray. Their voices rose to heaven like a chorus of hope, knowing that with the Lord on their side, they had nothing to fear. Then Lachoneus sent out a great proclamation to the people. Gather your families, gather your animals, gather your treasure, and come to the great place we will all meet. And the people marched together, carrying their faith along with their belongings. Families, children, and animals all traveled to the meeting place, ready to protect each other. When the people arrived, Lachoneus had built tall, strong fortresses. They worked day and night, stacking stones higher and higher until the walls were impenetrable. Nephite and Lamanite stood side by side as guards watched over the people day and night, their eyes sharp and ready. No robber could sneak past them now. Then Lachoneus gathered the people again and said, repent, my friends. Turn to the Lord with all your hearts, for only through him will we be delivered. If we do not repent, we cannot be saved. The people listened carefully, for they knew Lachoneus was wise and guided by the Lord. Lachoneus's words were so powerful and true that the people felt a stirring in their hearts. They knew what they had to do. With all their might, they repented and did exactly as their leaders had commanded. And as they repented, they felt the warmth of the Lord's love surrounding them, giving them strength. But Lachoneus was not done yet. Now it was time to appoint a leader for their army. He chose the bravest, wisest man of all, Gidgiddoni. Gidgiddoni was not just a mighty warrior. He was a prophet, too, with the gift of revelation. He could feel the will of the Lord guiding him like a light in the dark. The people came to Gidgiddoni and said, Should we go up to the mountains and attack the robbers? Should we take the battle to them in their own lands? But Gidgiddoni, with his calm wisdom, replied, No, no, the Lord forbids it. If we go to them now, we will lose. But if we stay here and prepare, the Lord will deliver them into our hands. We must be patient and trust in his plan. And so the people listened, knowing that patience and faith would lead them to victory. And so the people prepared. They gathered their horses, their chariots, and all their belongings, and they marched, by the thousands, heading into the great place that Lachoneus had chosen. Imagine them like a glorious parade, marching with courage in their hearts. The people gathered in the lands of Zarahemla, near the lands of Bountiful and Desolation. There they built their fortress even stronger, and they made their hearts even braver, trusting in the Lord's protection. Many thousands of Nephites and Lamanites stood together as one people, united in faith and purpose. And though they felt the weight of Lachoneus' words, they knew they must repent and pray for the Lord's strength to face the robbers. Under Gidgiddoni's direction, the people built every kind of weapon: sword that sparkled in the sunlight, shields strong as mountains, and armor glimmered with the promise of victory. They were ready. The robbers might come, but the people of the Lord would be prepared, both in body and spirit. And so the people of Nephi and Laman, with their hearts full of faith and courage, awaited the coming battle. But they knew, as they stood side by side, that victory didn't come just from swords or shields. It came from trusting in the Lord. The end. The end for now.